Hello everybody, and welcome back to Steve's Gear. And today we're back with another knife unboxing. So this one I'm pretty excited about. This is my first Chris Reeve knife. Honestly, if you would have asked me a couple years ago, I probably would have never picked one up. I've always been a big fan of watching videos on Chris Reeve knives. I was just always one of those guys that would say, nah, I'm never going to pay that much for a knife. But, well, here we are. So I actually didn't even plan on buying this one. I'll kind of get into the story in a little bit, but let's just take a look at the knife. I've actually filmed, this is like my second time filming it. My first time the iPhone didn't save it correctly or something. I don't know, the new iPhone got announced and all my other ones taking a crap. But so this is the large Inkosi, plain version, left-handed drop point blade with the CPM MagnaCut. So let's go ahead and open it up. And then we'll go over the little pamphlet that comes in it. So inside you do get a little sticker, you get your registration card, you get a little birth certificate. So this one is a left-handed model, a MagnaCut drop point blade, titanium, and it has a birth date of September 6, 2023. So this one's like brand new. I wasn't expecting it to be that brand new. Like I said, today is the 14th, so it is fresh out of the factory. Inside the package you get a little tube of fluorinated grease and a little thing of Loctite with a couple tools to disassemble it. And then you get the actual knife itself. So it comes wrapped up in this nice little microfiber here. Good high quality microfiber. Pretty big one too. I was surprised at how big it was. Go ahead and set that to the side. So yeah, this is the large Inkosi. Like I said, plain model, drop point blade, CPM MagnaCut. Now it is a beautiful knife. I mean, the finish is like perfect. There's no weird edges. There's no imperfections in the finish. I mean, it really is machined to perfection. The blade is great looking. I mean, I've always been a sucker for the drop point blades. So if I was going to pick up a Chris Reeve, I definitely wanted the drop point. And I mean, the finish on the blade is just great. I hope the camera's kind of picking it up, but it's kind of like a satin stonewash finish. But I mean, it's like perfect. There's no imperfections. There's no, lines out of place or nothing. And I like how on the Inkosis the spines are kind of rounded. I mean, it feels nice. It's a nice look. I like that look on it a lot. And the Inkosi, the one reason I wanted to pick it up is because of the little finger grooves. So not everybody likes finger grooves, but I actually like them. And they were a lot less aggressive than I originally thought. When I hold it in the hand, it does hold my hand in well. The other thing I like is the Inkosi kind of has a little bit more aggressive jumping from what I hear over the Sebenza. And I do like the little bit more aggressive. Now, it's not super rough or anything, but it's a little bit aggressive. And it does have a nice little ramp there on the back of the blade. So when you have a grip on it, you can really get a good grip. I feel it feels really sturdy in my hand. I feel like I could put a lot of pressure on it and feel comfortable with it. I did kind of think about getting the small size, but when I looked at the numbers on paper, it did look a little small. And I'm typically not like a real big, large knife guy, but I don't really feel like this one's too large. It's definitely on the upper end of the knives that I carry, but it's a good size. And then the other big selling point for me was obviously it was left-handed. So this is the first knife I've ever had that's been a dedicated left-handed knife. So it's kind of an interesting feeling to actually use the lock bar on the other side with left hand. So as far as opening it, it's nothing different. Having the pocket clip against my palm is a little bit different feeling, but it feels good. It's not doesn't protrude. There's no hot spots or nothing, so it feels good. But just closing it's a little bit different. I'm gonna have to kind of get used to closing it with the left hand. The blade did come up nice and centered. Sorry for the band-aid. I cut myself at work today. Almost pulled a Randy. Sorry if you're watching Randy. But yeah. But the other good thing is it comes with dual thumb studs. So the Inkosi comes with the dual thumb studs. And I know you can get them on the Sebenza, but I think it's more of an option. So I've got used to opening knives with right-handed over the years. So it's nice I can just use either hand. And closing it with the right hand is still not too bad. So I like that I can use it either hand right out of the box. If it only had the one thumb stud, I feel like I'd be kind of limited to just using my left hand. but now I can use both hands. It's pretty nice. That does come with a little lanyard built in. I've seen a lot of people cut them off, and that's probably going to be the fate of this one. Not a big fan of it. I mean, I'm not a big lanyard guy, and I almost feel like it kind of takes away from the feeling of the knife. It just kind of brushes against the back of my hand, and I don't know. It doesn't serve a whole lot of purpose for me for this one. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely expensive. This knife came in at $500, so it's the most expensive knife I've ever bought. Yeah, I probably won't be purchasing another $500 knife for quite some time. But with the prices going up on a lot of things, I think this knife was around $450 last year. So I thought, well, it was another reason in my mind to justify it, as I thought, well, maybe it'll go up next year and I'll be able to save a few bucks if I don't wait till next year. But yeah, I was talking to a buddy, and we kind of talk about knives and weird gear and stuff, and a while back I was telling him, like, if I was going to get a Sebenza, what model I'd like to have and everything. And but I wasn't really actively looking for them. Every once in a while I come across them, like on Restock, on a knife site or something, and I'll just look at them, like, oh, it'd be nice to have. But then he messaged me and he's like, man, I think I found the one you wanted. And he sent me the link, and sure enough, it was like the exact model I wanted. The plain scales, the Inkosi, the left-handed, the drop point blade, the MagnaCut. I mean, he just checked all the boxes. And I picked it up off of Nordic Knives. Now, they may be a real popular site. I've never shopped off of Nordic Knives before. So I went to the website, checked it out. They did have a few different Chris Reeve knives in stock. And they had this knife in two variations. So they had this one, exact same knife, except they had one in S45 and one in MagnaCut. I mean, MagnaCut's the new steel, so I went ahead and just picked up the MagnaCut because they were the same price. So as of the time of me making this video, the S45 version is still available. And then they had several Sebenzas for sale. They had like the micarta inlays. They had some Tonto blade shapes, things like that. So check them out. It might be another place for you to look around if you're in the market for a Chris Reeve knife. But I just kind of wanted to make a video on this, kind of an unboxing, a little bit of initial impressions, and I'll definitely be making a updated review video on this. Just for the price I paid and kind of the heritage and stuff behind it, I thought it'd be fair for me to actually spend some time with it and come back with things I like and maybe some things I don't like. So definitely, probably in a couple weeks, you'll probably see an update on this, and hopefully I'll get a little bit of use out of it. Now, it's not going to be a knife that I baby. When I come back for the review, there's a chance it could have a scratch or two. I mean, it's just going to be the way it is. Buying an American-made knife, and especially with one with as good a warranty as Chris Reeve's, if you ever get a chance, and you're like me and you were researching it, before I pulled the trigger, I swung over by the Chris Reeve site and kind of looked through some of the stuff on there, and I read about their warranty and stuff, and they really do have a really good warranty. So I feel like, even though I spent this amount of money, I'm not going to be up a creek if, something goes wrong with it in a week or 2 weeks or a year or 5 years. I feel like they'll take care of me. And even if the day comes where I want to, get it all back to new looking, they'll refinish the scales for you, tune it, sharpen it, all that kind of good stuff. And, so it's just nice to know, kind of helps ease the pain a little bit of all the money you spend. And, yeah, that's kind of important to me. I mean, that's a big thing. So if I don't know where to send a knife to get warranty work done, then it makes me question large purchases. So, yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know if you own any Chris Reeve knives, or what model you have, or what options, or if you want to get one, let me know what your ideal one would be. It might be something completely different than this, and I'll be interested to read them. But that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. I appreciate you stopping by to take a look at it with me, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.